Hello, this is Billy Joe Saunders, WBO middleweight champion of the world. Subscribe to Sporting Icons to stay in touch with all the top news. God bless you all.
So Chris Eubank Jr., he's saying that Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, is still number one on his to-do list, which is okay. I mean, for me, I'd love to see that fight, I ain't going to lie. And, of course, it's a fight that should have happened a couple of years back there. But Chris Eubank Jr., for all intents and purposes, made negotiating the fight very, very difficult over petty things because his dad, legend that he is, but as a negotiator, he's notoriously difficult to work with because he asked for the most stupidest of things. Like, he wanted Barry McGuigan on the Sky team and things like that. I mean, it's just absolutely pointless. He wanted Barry McGuigan to do commentary because he used to do commentary for his fights. It's stupid, real stupid things. And he had the contract, everything was done, but they were still trying to eke out every little bit that they can. And the fight fell through. Kell Brook then stepped in. Okay? So for him to be calling out Triple G, I have no issues with it as long as he's serious. And it's a fight that I would love to see. But at the same time, didn't Chris Eubank Jr., didn't he sign with the PBC so he can go fight Jamal Charlo? Apparently that fight could well have been next. Obviously with the whole thing going on in the world right now, we don't know what's going on anymore. But this is why Chris Eubank Jr., he fought on the undercard of Jamal Charlo. Because it was a way to build up them two having a fight. And to be honest with you, I know I'm probably in the minority, but I would actually pick Chris Eubank Jr. to beat Jamal Charlo for the WBC middleweight strap. I could be wrong, and that's fine. Now, as far as Chris Eubank Jr. goes with Triple G, again, I said it way back then that I felt that Chris Eubank Jr., I'm not saying that he would have beaten Triple G, but he could have caused him a lot of problems, and it would not have surprised me had he have fought Triple G and beaten Triple G. Because the one move that I felt back then, and it's kind of still true today, that Triple G can't seem to defend against, is on the inside, the uppercut. What's Chris Eubank Jr. known for? Out of his whole variety of moves, it's the uppercut with both hands. So Chris Eubank Jr., he had a very good shot at defeating Triple G. I don't know whether or not he would have defeated him, but I'm saying that he had a very good chance way back then. Chris Eubank Jr., he's an underrated fighter. Of course, he does have 2 losses on his resume to Billy Joe Saunders and to George Groves. But there's no shame in losing to either of those guys, okay? And he's shown that he's got an iron chin. He's shown that he's pretty good with endurance and that as well. But maybe he's guilty of getting the tactics wrong on the night. He's guilty of thinking that if you just throw punches and bunches, that's what's going to win you the round. That's not altogether true. I mean, we know that his dad wants Junior to fight like Joe Calzaghe, but Eubank Jr. is not Joe Calzaghe, all right? But anyway, a fight with him and Triple G, listen, I'll watch it, of course I would. And the guy who Triple G is meant to be fighting next, as his, I believe is mandatory, isn't it? To be honest with you, I'm not interested in fighting it, and I don't know who that guy is. I'm sure many of you guys do, but I have absolutely no clue who this mandatory is for Triple G. So as of right now, it's not really a fight that I want to watch. But a fight with Triple G and Chris Eubank Jr., yes please, I'd watch it. Again, I don't know why Eddie Hearn doesn't talk about Triple G versus Demetrius Andrade. They're both DAZN fighters, right? It should be a pretty easy fight to make. A Triple G Canelo third fight, sure, I'd watch it, but I've seen it twice. I felt Triple G won at least the first fight, but hey, it is what it is. But I think that Triple G, he is on the tail end of his career now, and we've seen that where he seems to be struggling in spots against opponents that you would think that a regular Triple G, a Triple G on form, maybe a bit younger Triple G would just blasted through them, but at times he is kind of struggling. But listen, for me, I think that Triple G against Demetrius Andrade, that should be a pretty easy fight to make. I don't know why they're not talking about Triple G versus Billy Joe Saunders anymore. They haven't spoken about that fight in the longest time. That's an overdue fight, in my opinion. I know Billy Joe is super middleweight now, and of course Triple G is still middleweight, but you know what, it's still a very interesting fight for me. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. But is it just Chris Eubank Jr. talking breeze? Maybe. Because Chris Eubank Jr., he may come out with a whole wrong side of the street kind of thing, because now he's a PBC fighter. PBC fighters, for all intents and purposes, or a lot of them at least, they use that as a, well, I can't go fight over on DAZN, I can't go fight over on ESPN because I'm a Showtime and Fox Sports fighter, even though they're not contractually obliged to be fighting on them. For all intents and purposes, for a PBC fighter, you are a free agent. But for whatever reason, a lot of the PBC fighters seem to use that as an excuse to not go fight certain other fighters. Look at Errol Spence Jr. Pathetic excuse when it comes to Crawford, right? Anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Chris Eubank Jr. and Triple G. Is that even a fight that Triple G is interested in? I don't know. I mean, when there's unifications out there, why would he? Okay, but anyway, we'll have to wait and see. Drop your thoughts below about it. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.